Welcome to the world of business. I'm Noakip Kimboy. Poor economic planning has contributed to low school attendance in the country. Data from the 2019 Kenya Population and Housing Census indicates 7.1 million people had never been to school. Economists now recommend a solution-oriented approach to help with enrollment and job creation. Brenda Karubo with this report.
The data shows 10 million people were attending primary school, 3.4 million secondary, while 3.3 million pre-primary school. Overall, the figure decreases further with those attending technical training at 500,000 and those attending university at 471,000.
To enter secondary, we undertake some examinations. It is some, you'd expect some not to do well, and probably either repeat or just stop education there, which again is not a recommended policy.
The problem has been linked to the 844 system.
In the old system, you would find at Form 4 level, there was a system called KJAC, Kenya Junior Certificate Education, I suppose so, and it saved some at Form 2 level. Then again, students went up to Form 4, out of which Form 4 examinations were done. Those who dropped out went to certificate colleges. Then there was A level at Form 6. Those who could not make it to campus were undertaking diploma courses, and they found placements at every point.
A solution-oriented approach could deal with the problem, incorporating more practical at various education levels. At the same time, a total of 18.9 million individuals were outside the labor force during the reference period.
But the universities also need to be more practical in approach to knowledge giving, turning away from more theoretical ways, but solution-oriented kind of education system.
Brenda Kirubo, KTN News.
Kenyan startups are set to benefit from the second round of the Kenya Catalytic Job Fund run by the UK Aid. The fund, which has set aside over 655 million shillings, is aimed at facilitating the growth of social enterprises with the aim of creating more jobs for the thousands of Kenyan youth in the job market this year. In the first round, the fund offered over 48.4 million shillings to 5 companies in agriculture and manufacturing, the informal sector and marginalized groups at national and county levels.
One of the key public policy challenges for Kenya is the number of youth that enter the labour force each year. So some people estimate it as almost 1 million youth enter the labour force. So the key challenge is, how do you harness that entrepreneurial spirit, that innovative spirit in Kenya to create jobs? And that's why we came up with the Catalytic Jobs Fund. It's not just a jobs fund, but it's a catalytic jobs fund. So what's the innovation, what's the entrepreneurship that generates the firm growth and the job creation that will meet that need?
The idea is also to work with the youth officers to be able to train the people on what is required, and also to ensure that they are aware that these are loans.
And now, talking of stability over the edges, guess what the oldest monument in Kenya is? Well, you got it right, the Vasco da Gama Pillar. Tobias Chanji digs deeper to establish the foundations of this phenomenon in tonight's Adventure Diaries.
Vasco da Gama was a Portuguese explorer born in 1460 at a place called Sines. He is also the first European to reach India by sea. His initial voyage to India was the first to link Europe and Asia by an ocean route, connecting the Atlantic and the Indian Oceans.
Gama's Pillar is one of the oldest monuments in the country. It was built in 1499 by the Vasco da Gama, who was he was looking for a sea route to India.
Da Gama started his sailing from Lisbon on July 8, 1497, with a fleet of about 4 vessels. 2 of these were medium-sized, 3-masted sailing ships, each of about 120 tons. The expedition reached Mombasa on April 7th, and on May 20th, he arrived at Calcutta in India. The pillar was erected as a commemoration for the adventure.
And this pillar was built because he was the first Portuguese to arrive in Malindi. And later on, he was led to India. And the Vasco da Gama's pillar was first built in the town near Sheikh's place. And unfortunately, the Malindi people being Muslim and the Christian connotation, it raised some disturbance to the people of Malindi. So it was pulled down. Then later on, it was relocated to this place during 16th century.
The pillar still stands tall since then and can be seen by sailors from a distance.
Actually, this was built from the local material, which is coral and lime, which is naturally camouflage with the environment, and it does not wear and tear very easily.
But despite this, the pillar is facing natural threats.
And at the moment, the pillar is facing threat of being falling down because it is built on a cliff, and the cliff is being eroded by the waves, and it needs some intervention. Otherwise, this will very soon collapse.
This pillar was so significant to both sailors and navigators as it used to direct ships where to harbor. But as of now, it still attracts most tourists. Tobias Chanji, KTN News, Adventure Diaries.
Well, that's business tonight. Thank you very much for watching. I'm Noki Kimboya. Up next, sports.
Yourself.